Welcome back everyone. Let's talk about comparison operators in Python. Comparison operators are used to compare two values. They return true or false based on the condition being evaluated. It is essential for making decisions using conditional statements and also in the flow control. For example, it helps in controlling the flow of the program by evaluating certain conditions that you provide. Now let's do some hands-on coding how we can use the comparison operators in Python. Open up the Jupyter notebook and then maybe you can call it 0 to 05 comparison operators. We learned about assignment operators earlier in the video. In the comparison operators, we compare very different conditions. For example, if you use double equal sign, then this is checking if the two values are equal. And if you do like this sign, exclamation sign with the equal sign, then this is checking that if two values are not equal, this is greater than, smaller than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, and so on. So now let's do some hands-on coding how we can utilize these comparison operators in Python. Let's demonstrate the equal to comparison operators in Python. Let's say x equals to 10. We have the value of x and y equals to 5 and then result, let's say result equals to x equals to y. We're trying to check if that's true or not, right? Then if you do print result, shift enter, then you see the false, right? See x equals to 10, y equals to 5, so they are not equal. That's why we're getting the false. Let's demonstrate the not equality comparison operators. You have x equals to 10, y equals to 5, and then let's say result equals to x is not equals to y. This is how we can write the not equals in Python. If you do print result, and this is true, x is not equals to y, 10 is not equals to 5, right? That's why we get the true value. Let's demonstrate the greater than comparison operators. So let's x equals to 10, assume that y equals to 5, and then result equals to, we're comparing x is greater than 5 or not, print result, and you can see this is true. Now, similarly, we can demonstrate for the less than comparison operators. We already defined x and y earlier, so if you want to use the same value, then we don't have to define it again. You can basically check result equals to x less than y or not, right? Print result, and you can see this is false because x is not less than y in this case, right? We already did the less than, greater than, and this is let's call this greater than and equals to, right? If you want to do that, we can say greater than or equals to comparison operator. For that, if x greater than equals to y, then print x, this is true because x is greater than y in this case because we have x equals to 10, right? So here also less than or equals to, right? If you want to do this, then you can do result equals to x less than equals to y, and if you do print result, see this is false. Now let's do some real world examples. Let's demonstrate health related examples using comparison operators. Heart rate is 75, which is beats per minute, and then normal rate is, let's call it 70. Now we want to apply the comparison operators to check whether the heart rate is high or not, whether the rate is high or not, something like that, right? Then if is high, let's call this is high equals to, we want to compare heart rate greater normal rate, and then if you print, we can also print a statement saying that is heart rate higher than normal. In this case, what we're gonna get is this result back, and let's do shift enter. Is height is not defined, so this is not height, this is high. If you print it, is heart rate higher than normal? It's true, because if you look at that, heart rate is 75 and normal rate is 70, right? So if we compare this based on the comparison operator, we knew that the heart rate is higher. So now let's demonstrate an example in finance. So what we want to do is we want to look at the monthly salary in dollars, and then also let's say we have certain threshold, and we want to use comparison operators to check that whether the salary is greater than or equals to threshold or something like that. So let's say salary equals to 5,000, right? And then threshold is, let's say, 4,000. And we want to apply the comparison operators to know whether that is above threshold. Threshold is above threshold equals to, what we can do is salary greater than threshold. And we can do print is salary above threshold, and then we can get the result from here, the variable that we already defined earlier. Hold, and then close this out, shift enter. It's salary above threshold. That's true, because salary is 5,000 and then the threshold is 4,000. It is greater than 4,000. That's why it's true. All right, let's try an example with the population. We want to compare the population whether that is lower than the critical level or not. Let's say our population is 10,000. It can be population of insects, birds, or anything, right? I just wanted to give an example. And then we call it critical level is 3,000. If it is less than the critical level, then we call it it's a critical, right? So that's what we want to compare. And is it under the critical or not? To compare that, we want to say population less than critical uh, level, and then print, we can say is population below critical level, and then we can get an answer from the variable that we defined earlier, critical, and shift enter. Is critical is not defined. Critical, let's copy this and paste it here. All right, it's population below critical level and it's false. So our population is 10,000, the critical level is 3,000, right? So it's higher than the critical levels. Based on this one, this statement is false. All right, this is how we use the comparison operators in Python, and it really helps to compare two different things together. Either it is greater than, smaller than, equals to, and so on. I really hope that you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.